Hi, welcome back to Mountain Gem Card Collectibles. Hope you're having a great week so far. So today is the official release date of 2026 Topps Chrome Baseball. And, I've seen a few rips of this product already, on YouTube. And I've tried to get excited for it, but I don't know what it is about Topps Chrome anymore. I just don't have the same excitement for it that I did, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I think it's because it's been overcooked, all right? They keep dragging it out like it's the best thing, since ice cream was created, every year. They always put on these big prices. But for me, the way that I look at Topps Chrome is I feel like Topps Fanatics has OCD about their designs, all right? And I just wish that we could get different designs for, say, Topps Chrome than the standard kind of Topps flagship design, you know what I mean? And so I guess I'm just getting tired of the way that Topps Fanatics runs things, their cards, their prices, their designs. Like it says here, the 2026 Topps Chrome baseball set officially releases on July 22nd, 2026. The highly anticipated set celebrates the 30th anniversary of the Chrome line and includes a 300 card base set along with heavily chased autographs from rookies and veterans alike. For me, I just wish they'd retire the Chrome line and give us something different. I've come up with a few different ideas, they could call it, like Quicksilver or something. I am just burnt out of Chrome. And so, I just pulled this up, for shopping. And, if I were to dive into this, which I likely won't, I'd probably just buy, like a blaster box and move on with my life, try and save some money because more likely than not, the more you spend, the more you're going to lose unless you're a breaker who buys a case. I've said that before on my channel. I feel like we've moved on from the days of just buying a box and, striking gold to where you have to buy a case, and that really hurts, all right? So right here, I see that eBay is selling, like a hobby box, this product for $329.99 or even $325. So it's kind of going up and down. I'm just kind of scrolling down here. Here I see the Topps Chrome Baseball Delight Box going for $785, which to me, that's just insane. Topps Chrome Baseball Jumbo Box is $649.95. That's a Digital Heroes and more. So if you're going to buy this, you really want to shop around. But let's be honest here, a lot of this stuff is just way out of my budget. And the problem with these one and done purchases is more often than not, you lose. All right. And so where this used to be really a product where the world of sports cards would get excited for it, I feel like just kind of looking around, there's going to be a lot of burnout. And what I don't like about the product is like what I started is the design. I feel like, if they want to keep Topps Chrome fresh, they have to have a fresh design. This nature of Topps, carrying the same design from product to product to product to product. I'm just so tired and burnt out of it. Like I said earlier, I call it the Topps Fanatics OCD. And, if you have a monopoly, hey, how about you use a little bit more creativity and give us, different designs? Okay, and so that takes me to X, and I noticed this was posted by Sacked Card Collects, and this was just posted on July 21st, 2026. So, there's some people pre-opening this set. I've seen it on YouTube as well. So like it says, 2026 Topps Chrome is here, and I'm pleased to announce it sucks worse than ever before. $500 plus jumbo box, 2 base autos of a guy with 2 career at-bats, and a guy with a 6.28 career ERA. This product sucks so bad every single year. I'm done with it. Okay, let's take a close look at what he has here. These are his better cards out of a jumbo. Now, for $600, let's be honest here, I would more than likely be looking at possibly an awesome single from someone that's well known. You know, maybe chasing down something from LeBron James, maybe chasing down, something from Shohei Ohtani. I just think that you'd be better off putting your money elsewhere than this set because let's face it, this rookie class isn't the best rookie class out there. And I feel like a lot of these rookies are just going to be swept under the rug in a few years. And the reason I say that is really when you look at all the MLB rookie class since 2020 through 2026, year in and year out, we're always going through these rookie class chases. And face it, there really isn't anybody who stands out from 2020 to 2026. Pre-2020, who are you looking at? Well, you're looking at Shohei Ohtani, you're looking at Aaron Judge, but I keep looking at, 2020 through 2026, and there really isn't any big name player that's, coming at me. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe they've gone through some all-star games, this and that. Yeah, there's been a few that have been hyped up by the hobby. But what I'm getting at is we don't really have any big-name superstars to chase, at least in the MLB, since 2020 through 2026. So why are they putting these big price tags on these sets? It doesn't make any sense to me. They should be keeping the prices low, but we all know what this is about. This is about funding the lifestyle of a billionaire known as Michael Rubin. A lot of people kiss his ass. They think he's doing good things for the hobby. I don't think he's doing a damn thing for the hobby. I don't think he cares about the hobby because let's face it, if he did, prices would be low. So anyway, I'm looking at these cards. We have this Jonah Tong. We have this Candy Corona, for autos. The bottom here, what am I looking at? Like Jacob Marcy, I guess, and Marcus Semien, a numbered Marcus Semien. Okay. That's sad to spend that much money and to pull this. Because let's face it, when I'm looking at the Jonah Tong or Candy Corona, those are not highly valued cards. And they will more than likely not be highly valued cards because of what I said. These are not superstars, Hey, these are maybe some great players coming out of the gate in the rookie years. And the hobby always hypes up, these rookie card chases. But, Jonah Tong with the Mets, so he's cursed. Kenny Corona with the Houston Astros. I mean, no one's really talking about him. And then, of course, this design that, I don't understand why, Topps Fanatics has such bad OCD on their products, to where it's carry the flagship design over to this set, carry the flagship design over to that set. And what happens is you just get burnt out, To me, to an extent, these don't even really feel like Topps Chrome cards. All right, so let's see what some people are saying. Opened a couple blasters too, so he opened a jumbo and a couple blasters, all right. Both red and white blue refractors were miscut, badly at the top. Topps quality assurance added again. What a shit product from a shit company. Well, let's just take it as a learning lesson, huh? Let's face it, these designs, I wish they would give us more basic designs so you do get better centered cards, These designs from 2025 and 2026, to me, are just atrociously horrible, And you're always going to be dealing with a lot of these centering issues, miscut issues, whatever. Yep, spend $500, get back $5. About right. Yep. And once again, it's these price points. You know, to me, when I see these price points, I feel like Toss Fanatics believes that they're selling you a brand new Shohei Ohtani rookie card every year with these price points, or maybe an Aaron Judge, you know, because they're the big names in the MLB right now. But they're not. I said earlier, there really aren't any big name athletes coming at us from the MLB since 2020 to this point in time. And the crazy thing is we might go through a whole decade of 2020 to 2030 where there aren't any athletes that compare to, say, a Shohei Ohtani or an Aaron Judge. And that's just crazy to think about, but it's very possible. Turbo Box, thanks for taking that out of circulation, brother. Yeah. He would have done better if he would have bought a case. I'm guessing. But the thing is you're still buying overpriced stuff on a class that's really not very good for rookies, you know. Yeah, maybe you want to chase some vets, but there's better ways to do it. Chrome is consistently the most overpriced junk ever, and people go crazy for it. I will never understand it. And honestly, I don't either, you know. A lot of it for me has to deal with burnout. These designs really aren't standing out, you know, because they're always copying the flagship design now. You know, I think they should price it for what it should be. Maybe hobby boxes at around $100. And I know that might be an insult to some people, but you know, it's a tough class. It's not a very well-designed card. Hey, it's licensed, but we know how rotten this, you know, Monopoly is from Topps Fanatics, you know. And what I see when I look around is people are starting to burn out, you know. They want to do different things. You know, obviously for a lot of people, when they step into sports cards, they feel like their hands are getting tied behind their back because of these massive prices on boxes and this and that. It's not fair. People complain about their single box lottery ticket publicly as getting so obnoxious. You know what you are getting yourself into, and you know you are going to do it all over again with the next release. Yeah, great point, but you know, back to the price point. These boxes shouldn't have these massive prices on it. And he replies, I open so much more than one box, but this shit is so low quality garbage every single year. Yeah. Eventually, he may go a year where he's just not going to put the money down, you know. I would say I wouldn't do it this year. I wouldn't have done it last year. You really have to start looking at these classes of, you know, players that you're chasing. And more often than not, you know, they're hyped up by the hobby, but they're not hyped up by the media very well, and the fans could care less. So you're just kind of getting some rotten athletes that are hyped up for no reason at all. I'd be pretty stoked about a Tong card. Honestly, I could care less about Tong. You know, I don't see much value there, but hey. Like he replies, getting a little tired of him, but nothing but Tong for me lately. All these in just the last month. Love the kid, but I'm fatigued. Boy, look at all these Jonah Tong. And he doesn't really sign very well either. Just initial autos that kind of look all pretty basic. Some of them kind of look like they've been signed by someone else when you look at these. Let's take a look at this picture here. Okay, Jonah Tong. Take a good look at this one. Someone else could have signed that, let's face it. Especially with a simple initial auto as that. Let's face it. I mean, if you're going to copy someone's initial auto, this one would be super easy to copy. I mean, I used to watch these kids copy autos, you know, when I was in junior high and stuff. I mean, come on, guys. Yeah, that one's pretty rotten too. Yeah. We like these full signature autographs in the hobby because so many of these guys, they just don't care, you know. But let's face it, I don't think people are going to be talking about Jonah Tong another year anyway, you know. $5 autos is why I only buy blasters and megas. Do a few rips and move on. Yeah. Like I said earlier, if you're going to do this, maybe just buy one blaster and, if you strike out, you strike out. Yeah, you're in the hole, $40, but it could be a lot worse than buying a hobby box and striking out. Tong is 23 and the number one prospect in the Mets organization. He was one of the chases going into this season and he wasn't ready. Yeah, well, that's hobby talk. And eventually you have to push yourself back from hobby talk. Because hobby talk really seems to elevate a lot of losers, Not that they're like total losers. It's just, if you're looking for big name athletes, hobby talk more likely than not isn't going to get you there. You have to start reading the sports page, and people just aren't talking about Tong on the sports page very much at all, if at all. Like it says here, but you got a gold of a washed up former World Series champion. Be grateful and say thank you to Daddy Toms. Yeah. That's pretty harsh. I can't stand people complaining that they bought a box and they get a $1,000 card. Well, the issue with these $1,000 cards is when you're spending so much money on the box, you really have to get a big card. And if the class isn't very good, if they're hyping up, some kind of rotten players, if the cards aren't cut well, if they're not centered well, it just becomes a nightmare to where, yes, you kind of feel like you have to hit a big card. Hobby products are almost never good at their price point. I had MVP buybacks at my LCS, so I got a box of 25 TC Black FB. My encased auto at best is $55, and my two parallels at best combined for $25, and that product is also $500. Yeah. Expect to lose. And if you expect to lose, well, I guess go with it. A lot of us, we can't afford to lose, on our budgets because everything is so expensive. Inflation is just getting out of control on so many things, and that's why I just feel like these price points need to be a lot lower for this product. Topps Chrome has been the worst product since 2021. Absolute worst. Well, they don't really put much into it, Let's face it, they're not really going to Topps Chrome and putting in this 1,000,000% effort. I said it before. It's the Topps Fanatics OCD where they keep carrying the flagship design from product to product to product to product. And for me, I just get burnt out looking at it. I don't like the 2026 Topps flagship design this year. I really don't. I feel like it looks cheesy to me. It just does. So, yeah, there was a lot of replies to this, I like that comment about, the Marcus Semien, card, the gold. Would I be happy if these were the best cards I pulled out of a Gemma box? Hell no. I would be pissed off too. And that's just it is, you can only polish a turd so much. You can only put a big price on a turd so much before people just go, it's just a turd. Let's go do different things. And I feel like, who is the biggest factor to chase people out of this hobby at this point in time? I mean, who is the biggest player? Well, I'd probably say Topps Fanatics, I think they give the hobby a bad look. And they give the hobby a bad look, for one, is they don't really want to cater to working class people. I mean, these are not working class prices on boxes at all. And the majority of sports card fans, collectors, investors, whatever, are more or less blue collar people, okay? So who's hurting the hobby the most at this point in time? Boy, I keep pointing at Michael Rubin and Topps Fanatics, The Fanatics Fest to me is a total joke. It really is. It doesn't speak to average everyday collectors. To me, it was just a big PR event, and to others as well, that's the way it appears. It's just a PR event. And we want just more basic stuff in the world of card collecting like things have been, for most of our lives. And Topps Fanatics keeps, basically saying that you guys aren't good enough anymore. So anyway, I'd like to thank my subscribers. You're the only reason I do this because I'm still a non-monetized channel. If you could give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're a viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, if you could hit that subscription button, it would really help out my channel. And anyway, I hope you tune in again for the next episode of Mountain Jim Card Collectibles. Hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.